So Keith, thanks so much for spending time with me today.
Of course.
So let's kind of start at the beginning. Why moldings?
Yeah, finishing a home with molding was purely functional at first. If you don't finish the interior, you have a lot of drafting, right? There's a lot of drafted air moving through the house, and also to finish off the irregularities that happen in construction. Something you might well know as the builder's secret, when you ideally think that the room is square and everything is perfectly plumb. It's not necessarily the case, and so the best way to finish off corners and edges is to add on various forms of molding.
But it evolved from there.
It did indeed, very much so.
Why all the varied patterns? They're so diverse.
Yeah, first of all was functionally, what was happening in the environment of that particular climate, what was happening in the temperament of society, what was an aesthetic popularity. Those things started becoming something of a vernacular in various regions across the United States. And that's inspired by human creativity and how trend and society communicate what might be defined as beautiful at any given time in history. For example, the first real mark that Seattle made that was truly its own was kind of in the mid-century era. New materials were coming post-war with concrete slab and steel construction. Wood was kind of stripping away less and less to more functional and less necessary for structural purposes. What was happening internationally in that time was a complete reduction of how to construct housing and commercial spaces. Okay, enough already with the romanticism. That's really cute. Thanks for the turret. That makes no sense. Let's forget all of these ideas. Let's throw everything in the wastebasket and come up with a truly new, unique style. And so there was a school of thought in Germany called the Bauhaus movement. And anybody who loves modern style architecture, especially in the Seattle region, will know all about the Bauhaus movement. And it was really an embrace of the materials as they are. Don't ornament it in any way. If it's metal, it's going to be metal color and it's going to rust like metal will rust. If it's concrete, it's going to be gray. We're not going to stain it or paint it. If it's plaster, we'll plaster it just what color is plaster? It's kind of a muddy white color. Well, that's what we'll make it. If it needs to paint over it, we'll paint it over the same color as what it would be naturally. So everything was about reduce, refine to just the material itself and celebrate that material as ornament. And so that's where we get what we call today the mid-century modern style.
Oh.
But the mid-century in specific had a couple of inroads, and one of them was this reduce and refine to the simplest materials, and the other was we're in the rocket age. Then we think of Seattle as a modern city. We've arrived. Who are we? And well, let's go ahead and have the World's Fair here. So the Seattle World's Fair of 1962 was all about Century 21. We are forward thinking. We've got airplanes. We're inventing things that levitate. We can do all sorts of things for the modern world right here in this beautiful part of the world. And so it really attracted this whole idea of what is new and modern. How far off the grid can we get? How far can we go away from styles everybody's familiar with to create something truly unique?
Yes, I remember because we moved into a new home and it was furnished in a fairly old style, and my parents went through, stripped everything out. All the walls were turquoise. No, it was a turquoise and blue. It was a kind of a road.
For sure.
And all the wood was Danish modern.
Yep. Absolutely.
With the narrow tapered legs.
For sure. This parabolic carving and shaping, tapered legs on furnishings. And so you want to have something that would allow for that sort of look to take place. And so they would lower all of the millwork to 2 or 3 or even less, maybe just the base shoe itself to wrap around the millwork. Crown molding, forget it. No, we're going to plaster that thing to a square corner if it takes us years to do it. We'll spend the money to do it. The millwork is simpler there. In our particular showroom here, you'll see kind of a combination where there's like a shiplap siding that's really important for, again, more of our seafaring parts of our city, the cottages that are laced around Portage Bay and out through the locks, where you just get that feeling like you're out fishing, you came in and you hooked your hook right on the siding in your wall in your house. It's just very functional but very delightful, but modern, very simple and refined in this area.
So the ability to make large panels of glass,
yes,
really
please.
important.
Absolutely, and fine elements of trim work that are just, again, they're purposeful and they have exactly what they need and no more.
I see.
And you'll see now today people who will choose, really, and that's what's beautiful about having this design showroom is that they can step in and go, oh, I see that flat stock. I don't really like that. Oh, hey, look over here. This one has an interesting little crown detail on the top of my flat stock that gives it just enough extra that would be fine in taste without going overboard or whatever it might be. People will reinvent their spaces, but they can do it very tastefully because we have a lovely story to tell for them here. So as a designer, I'm very confident in what I would want to specify for the creation of the interior of a home. If I'm not, if I'm coming to Dunn Lumber like I should, how best would I be prepared? What should I bring with me to be able to know confidently that I'm going to be purchasing the right materials?
In the case of not really knowing what the style is, if we had some pictures of the outside of their home, and some interior pictures, and also some of the dimensions. We like to know the ceiling height, door height, so that we know kind of what we're working with, so that we can scale it to fit that customer's desires.
Right. It's important to see it and feel it and get a sense experientially in a three-dimensional environment how to put these things together.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.